Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. This is the Q&A. It is Thursday. This week has been long. I hope you're having a manageable week. I hope you are also having a joyful week. Good on you if you are. I hope you are managing your stress as well as you can, and the stress of the energy as well as you can. A lot happening, a lot words. Let me just take a beat. Because I was doing stuff before I press record, and my mind is going a mile a minute, and trying to slow down a little bit. Like I'm trying to slow down. Before I even say anything, let me just say everything I say here is for entertainment purposes only, for informational purposes only. Everything I say here is alleged, even in the comments. And technically, I don't have to say this because I have it in the description. But I just feel like now it's a part of me saying, it's a part of the routine, to get my brain going. So now I say it all the time now. Okay, if you want a personal reading, you can click more in the description of this video and the link will be there. Or you can email me, moonlightergy15@gmail.com, and I will send you the link. Okay. What was I saying? There's been a lot this week. I did say this week will be crazy, quote unquote crazy, intense, hyperactive, busy, some shocking, moments. And so far, the week's not over yet. We'll see what else is the universe has planned for us. I did do a week ahead reading, and it was very, revealing. So how are we feeling? It's Thursday. Let's do a check-in real quick with our mood, our emotions. What emotions are we experiencing? I feel anxious. I feel weary. Weary and worry. Weary. I feel weary. I feel tired. Fatigued. All in all ways, not just like physically. Okay, so that's what I feel energetically. People are just so tired. People are afraid, angry, and it's sort of cooking. Things are cooking up because of that. And I see it in my clients whom I have sessions with. I feel it. And most of what I can do is validate, give them skills, reiterate the skills that they know, give them resources where it's needed, but mostly validate and listen. And agree, because things are intense, and I feel like we are in the twilight zone portion of the situation. Okay, so take care of yourselves. That's also what I've been encouraging. Unplug if you can, because things are, not the best. Okay. All right. So, let's get into it. Let me drink some water first of all. Trying to figure out what I was doing Oh yeah, I had some tea, that's why. I had some caffeine. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so number 1. Let me just make sure this is the right. Okay. So I didn't get to every question. Some questions were of the same topic, so I might have combined into one question, but I credited both people. Some few questions I may not have gotten to because I choose questions that I feel most drawn to and that I haven't answered already numerous times. Okay, so but I think it was not many. I think I chose the majority, if not maybe 98% of the questions. But anyway, number 1, Oxford 17. Is the lie Trump and Tulsi Gabbard are spewing that Obama committed treason going to go anywhere? Is Obama in danger? So someone else asked that question. I didn't combine the question on this one because it was a question I had just saw as I was about to press record. Okay, but it was the same topic, same question. All right, is Obama in danger? It's funny, right? That it's not funny, but it's not funny, but it's interesting that the same things that they're why is he being brought up? It's a false story. We know that. It's a distraction. We know that also. It's a waste of time and money, and it's a distraction from what's going on with this Epstein stuff. Okay, but let's see. Oh, no, sir, you are the Russian asset, and you're the one who committed treason. That's why you are going to be indicted. Is Obama safe? I'll just ask that. Yes, simple yes or no question. I can't definitively say no because you never know with the corruption of what's happening here. It's astounding. Not shocking, surprising, but just like leaves you breathless. We have the King of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, 9 of Swords, Knight of Cups, 8 of Cups. Does that say 8 of Cups or Page of Cups? It says Page of Cups. And we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, 8 of Wands, and the 6 of Wands. This is gonna go on. This is a clear. He's obsessed with Obama. President Trump is obsessed with him. Has been for years. And they're like, hey, so the base is upset with you. We need to do something to... We need to point the finger somewhere else. It's clear what's happening. Is President Obama... Hold on, let me bring this mic. I don't know why I'm having a hard time today with this microphone stuff. Is President Obama safe? Is he safe? Clear center, please. Will President Obama be arrested? No. It's all smoke and mirrors, one of my guys just said. Let's see what their intention is with this. See if the cards will show me. It's gonna go on. It's not going to... It is, my goodness. It is calculated. I'll just throw them something. Give them something to focus on. They're stupid anyway, you know, his base. So let's just make something up about Obama, you know, since he was in the basement. Alright, let's see here. What is Tulsi Gabbard's intention here? What is her intentions? Is it to be honest? No. No, I don't think so. Oh, we got some cards falling out. It's to hide other things. The High Priestess. Let me move this thing back. It's to hide things. What else fell out? Two of Wands. Calculated action. Page of Wands. King of Wands. King and the Queen of Wands. The Empress. Look, the devil's on the bottom. And I knew the devil was there. I knew the devil was there. Let's see if it'll come back up. Tulsi Gabbard's intention. She's so determined to do this. It's 2 minutes. She's so determined to do this for him. So I have oh no, that's the Three of Wands. Excuse me, I said the 2. She's so determined. You see these wands here? And the Empress is about power, you know. Oh, I want to take care of my president. That's what this is about. She's using her authority to put this in motion, to move this forward. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, look, she's planting the seeds, helping it grow, trying to denigrate his name, Hangman. Trying to change people's perspectives on him. They're trying to, like, he's not going to be arrested, but there's going to be some sort of like it's going to they're trying to blacken his name. That's their goal. They're trying to damage his legacy. King of Pentacles. I have to shuffle some more because those are the same cards as before. But it's in the same energy, so. This will continue on. She's hiding things. Smoke and mirrors, you know. The keeper of secrets. And instead trying to turn people's attention away from the secrets to look at, she's very determined to do so, and she has the power to do so. She's been giving the green light. It's very much cold and calculating these actions. The Lovers. King of Decision, Four of Cups, King of Swords. Yeah. She doesn't believe her intentions are wrong. This energy here is, you know, someone who is very determined to do what they are doing right now. She's not going to stop because she's given power to continue on. She thinks she's like doing the right. It's very sick. It's a bit much, you know. It's a bit much. Okay, but she doesn't, I spent too much time on that question, but she doesn't, but it's Obama's, come on. But she doesn't know that this is gonna, just, you know, this is gonna come back on you. You're gonna get, your legacy is already what it is, but anyway, number 2. Can't see. Hold on, let me make that bigger. Malta M2325 was the death of defense attorney Roy Black, who represented Jeffrey Epstein. Was his death natural? Okay. Are you asking me, did he just die of old age? Well, let's see. Let's see here. I heard he was old and sick. That's what I heard. He was old and sick. But again, you never know, you know. But that's what I just heard. Card. There's 5 of Cups. Keeps coming up. Okay. Yeah, it was time for him to go. So it wasn't nefarious. Okay. You got the Fool in reverse. There's not a lot of vitality there for your physical energy. Okay. Let me ask the pendulum for the visuals too. What's his name? Roy Black. What a name, huh? Did Roy Black die of natural causes? I'm saying yes. Let me look quickly at his energy. I mean, the Fool in reverse. Show me his energy field before he moved on. The Fool in reverse was there, so let me just get one card. The Star. Star is really more emotional, you know, depression and stuff like that. Mental and wellness. I feel that he wasn't well. My God said he was old and sick, so. Number three, Sean B 9317. Hi Kim. Hi Sean. The most recent search for Malaysia Air flight MH370 has turned up nothing. Will the families of victims on the flight ever find closure? Is it true that the pilot deliberately took the flight off course? So the families will find closure. I'm hearing maybe in 5 years. There's a lot of confusion. I keep seeing what happened right before. I don't like that. Just the scariness of it. But all I'm hearing is there's a lot of confusion as to what exactly happened. And in terms of the pilot, it seemed like he was confused for some reason. I'm not sure if he purposely, it's a air of confusion around what he did. Let me see here. I don't want to confuse you guys to what I'm seeing, or, you know. Did this happen? I feel like it happened suddenly. Okay. What was his intention? Let's see here. The pilot. Oh, these cards want to come out. Okay, 3 of Cups. Let's see what the other cards say. Does that want to come out? 4 of Pentacles. 3 of Cups. Let's move this to the side. 4 of Pentacles. You know, I'm very sensitive, so it's hard for me to look at things like this. The Sun on the bottom. Queen of Cups, Three of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, oh yeah, Sun on the bottom, Seven of Cups. I don't want to be disrespectful. Three of Swords. The family will get their answers. Okay. The family will get their answers. But the pilot may not have been. I'm not sure he purposely took the flight off course, but he. I don't want to just say this. Allegedly, what I sense is that he may not have been. He could have been intoxicated. All of these cups here, and I'm touching his energy. Feels like confusion. I feel a lot of confusion. That may be revealed, but it feels also a lot of confusion surrounding the situation. It will be a while with the Knight of Pentacles here in terms of them getting their answers or getting closure. Okay? I hope that answered your question. He may have been under the influence. Okay, I don't know, but that's what I sense. Okay, number 4. Infinite Curly. A little different, but does Spirit see any activity or eruption from Mount St. Helens and or Mount Rainier in the future? Both are considered active volcanoes in Washington state. Though Rainier hasn't erupted in hundreds of years, and St. Helens blew her top off in 1980. And Don M. Yambrick asks, will there be hurricanes in Florida? I combined those two questions from these two. And I remember watching, when I was in high school, a documentary, I think it was in science class, about St. Helens. And that was crazy. I remember that. That was my first time ever, I think, seeing a documentary of the effects of the people, what happens to people when a volcano explodes, erupts. Okay. All right, let's see if I can answer the first question. I'm hearing there'll be some activity, but no eruption for 3 decades. But does activity not count as an eruption? I'm not a scientist, a volcanist. Is that what they're called? But that's what I was told. Okay. Will there be hurricanes in Florida of 2025? Yes, most of them will be weakened by the time they reach land, but there's one that will be severe, I'm hearing. Let's see if I could see one. Let's see if the cards, I'm hearing late August, early September. I see a lot of rainbow. I see a lot of water. A lot of water. Let's see here. Keep saying the same cards over and over and over and over again. I keep saying the Four of Pentacles. And the same sort of cards keep popping up. I'm about to switch decks because I feel like this deck is crazy right now. Okay. Yes. It feels like yeah. August. Seven of Wands represents the month of August. Okay, between the 12th and the 22nd, and that's what my guide said. The end of August, beginning of September. One will be severe. We'll see what happens. Stay safe, everyone. Okay, for a second I thought I wasn't recording and I was about to cry. Alright, so I hope that answered your questions. Number 5. Amy N 9639. My MAGA relatives despise Catholics. They despise the veneration of Mother Mary and the saints. I've had to hide my Catholicism from them for over 10 years. That's a shame. If JD becomes president, will some MAGA quit MAGA because he's Catholic? I don't think Theo understood the animosity that many evangelicals saved for Catholics when he was formulating his plan for JD. The thing about him being becoming president, I've talked about this on my lives, is that sure, it could happen, but it's not his path. It's not his destiny. It'll be short-lived. But in terms of your question, I did process this, and I did ask my guides, and what I understand is they won't leave MAGA because if he happens to become president. They'll leave because Donald Trump is their everything. They'll disappear because he will not be. JD Vance doesn't have the riz, the charisma, the energy, the essence, the power of Donald Trump. They won't follow him. Once Donald Trump goes, they will fade in energy, charisma, unless there's someone just like him to take his place. But no, they want the man, the myth, the legend. So that's why they will not pay attention to JD, because he's not Donald Trump. That man has a hold. If Donald Trump turned around today and said, he doesn't have a religion. I don't know what he was brought up in, but if he said Catholics are great, they would change their mind about how they feel about Catholicism without confusion. Because that's just how they work. The cult of personality. Okay? You don't have to hide being Catholic. You don't have to do that. That's what my spirit guide said. You don't got to do that for their sake. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It matters, I understand. But they don't really stand for anything. They're confused, angry folks. They don't stand for much. Okay? And I say that, I'm just making observation. But being in their energy and looking at them and seeing and hearing, they don't really stand for it. Okay, number 6. Nick 4800. Will Trump leave the White House by becoming unalive or by getting caught committing a crime like treason? I've talked about this lots of times recently, and no, he won't leave because of treason. He will go. He will leave this physical world. Is what I've been told. It's happening. It's happening. His energy his vitality is weakened. So I know it's frustrating. I never saw him really truly getting in trouble like that. Not really. Getting the consequences he deserves. No, I didn't really see that. But, he'll be physically gone before. But when he does go, a lot of things will come out. And the people will be left holding the bag. It'll be chaos and confusion. And a lot of people will, sort of like before, when he lost he didn't get his second term with Biden. What happened was, people who aligned themselves with him got dire consequences for not only their actions and the whole election stuff, but just the things they did. They got burned by aligning themselves with him. So that will happen again. Yeah. So he will leave this mortal coil before. We'll see. But it's what I've been told is that I keep having premonitions. Sooner rather than later. Alright. Number 7. Julie B 2800. How can we stop becoming a part of the Matrix trap? What's the Matrix trap? You mean social media? You mean misinformation? AI? People not knowing what's true or real anymore? People recording everything? Unplug. Get off social media. Go back to reading if you don't. I don't know. If you, on a more serious note, I was being serious, but when doing this work, this light worker work, I have come to understand things are getting worse in terms of the matrix trap, because, human beings just can't do things responsibly for some reason. So I think to get out of it, recently I've been saying, like, social media just has to go. All forms of it. I get it has its benefits, but overall, the TikToks, the Instagram, the Twitters, every form has to go. We need a reset. That's how you get out of the matrix trap. And it's not just social media, but that is the number one way people communicate and get information. So I've been saying that just someone needs to unplug the big plug. Even YouTube, but for you as the person, as the individual, you can make choices to unplug and just turn your phone off, take the apps off your phone. If I'm picking up what you're putting down, the matrix trap, learn in different ways now. Don't use ChatGPT. Those sort of things. I know I'm in the semi-matrix trap. I don't really use. I use YouTube. I don't know. Is YouTube a part of social media? I guess yeah, it is. I don't. I'm out of the loop with so much at the same time. So I hope that answered your question. Maybe not. All right. But no, actually, let me go back. My guides told me to go back. I felt it in my spirit that they literally said no. You have to say this. I think spiritually, to get out of the matrix trap, you have to take care of yourself. Okay? You have to turn your mind to what is most important. So it's more than just switching off. Literally, it's really doing it intentionally and saying, this is what I want to feed my mind and my, spirit with these things, as opposed to distractions and news and reactionary things and the same sort of videos over and over. This is what I want to feed my spirit in this way, so I could move into enlightenment, as opposed to taking on different energies. Okay? So that's my answer. All right, next question. Number 8, observation 11. Hello. Hi, Kim. Hello. Democrats such as Pennsylvania Governor Shapiro and I believe Hakeem Jeffries have recently refused to look into election interference, such as the Data Election Truth Alliance. What is behind this? Donald J. Trump has literally admitted to this repeatedly. Are they intentionally waiting as part of a plan, or are they bowing to Donald Trump? Okay, let's see. It's a great question. No, great question. I've answered this sort of question in a general sense that Democrats like Hakeem Jeffries, they don't want change, really. That isn't to say that they don't care or that they don't genuinely want the people they represent to be but there's a line here where you can't, 10 of Wands. I asked, what is the intention? Okay, There's a line that for some reason they don't want to cross because they don't want change, both consciously and subconsciously. Because you kind of look at it as like, to change a system, you have to be radical, in a sense, to really evoke true change, not just pass a law. It has to, and they've done that in certain aspects. Listen, Democrats know how to govern. They know how to run the government. Three of Pentacles. Well, might be doing something, waiting for something interesting. But, it's... People just get used to things and they're like, oh, this is the way it is, so I change it. What are the intentions? Why won't they say anything or do anything? Why won't they have this discussion? Why are they refusing it? Is it not to... let's see what the other cards say. Four of Swords. Nope, wait, that is not the Four of Swords. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Four of Swords. Interesting. Okay, got a bunch of cards coming out. Eight of Wands. High Priestess. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Eight of Swords. Eight of Cups. Tell you I'm laughing in a second. Death. Four of Cups. The Hermit. The Hermit is about... What do I always say? What have I labeled the Hermit? As roguery, corruption. So if they're, dissonance. I'm not saying Democrats are corrupt. They're not innocent, some of them, but if you put up a mirror, if you compare the two parties, what is their ultimate intention here? Judgment. They're waiting for something. What are they waiting for? I couldn't tell you. No, maybe. I could guess. Let me just put some energy into it. So we have Ten of Wands came out. Three of Pentacles. Four of Swords. Eight of Wands. High Priestess. Eight of Swords. Eight of Cups. Death. Four of Cups. The Hermit. Judgment. Three major cards. Let's look at those four major cards. Let's look at those first. So that is the Judgment card, the High Priestess, Death, and the Hermit. This is the most prominent. These are long-term. This is the bigger reasons why. Okay? These major cards. There's multiple things it feels like is happening. They're at a crossroads. They have their own dissonance, you know? I just need some validation. You know? There's a strong, the hermit is like, the hermit means multiple things. And it's a fork in a road with the hermit, and you have to withdraw to contemplate or introspect. And on the flip side, it also means like treason, corruption, roguery, dissonance. And I think dissonance is they're being introspective. They're really thinking about how they could fix things and make it better. But the question is about the election, right? So, I mean, it's everyone anyway. Dissonance. There's it feels as though the entire group of the Democrats are not in agreement about this. About saying this is what happened. The Ten of Wands fell out first, and it feels like I heard it will be too burdensome for them to take on. We need to focus on this instead. Rebuilding our base up, and I don't see fear here. Maybe with the Eight of Swords. A self-imposed limitation. The High Priestess is, The High Priestess knows. She has, she's a keeper of mystery and secrets. It's about your intuition. It's almost like, oh, it's not the right time, or too much hesitation. We don't have enough information. This isn't to say this isn't something they thought about, but there's a refusal here. The Four of Cups of transformation and change. It's like they're like, we have a nail in our forehead, and the hammer is right in front of them, but they're like, where is it? How do we get this nail out? Our forehead. Some of it is purposefully and so you have, on top of here, you have judgment, and judgment is about awakening. It's about discernment. It's about taking responsibility for your actions. And they're willing to do that. I think part of the energy here, there's many energies here and thoughts that I'm feeling, and many of them are willing to do that. Okay? And saying, no, we didn't message right, or we need to focus on that instead, because here, it's a mystery. We don't have enough information. And part way, it's like, this is the reason that they present to the people who are in the party and are like, so what's up? Why are we, and the underlining reason also is like, we don't want change. It's too much. It will make our base look bad. We will look bad because we didn't protect the election. We were the ones in charge, and this all happened. It's what it would look like too. So then instead, it's like they decide to take responsibility in this way. We'll take we'll take the blame. Did you have Three of Pentacles here? And a Three of Pentacles is, you know, collaborating and working in the background, experimenting on something. So this isn't, it also kind of feels like some of them are like, no, we need to let the cat out the bag. We gotta let, you know, what do you mean there's no information? We gotta move. But on the other side, this is why the Ten of Wands and the Three of Pentacles are next to each other, because it's like, no, we have to. The same song and dance that they always just pick up this dusty playbook and say, no, this is how we fight. The Four of Swords here. We have to reevaluate how we approach these things. And the universe is saying this is not a normal circumstance anymore. Some of them are in denial of it. Eight of Swords. This is their own mental limitations they put on the ability to have something happen. It's very controversial to challenge an election. It is. They would rather do it the old-fashioned way. Let's just rebuild ourselves up for the midterms and see what happens. Regardless if, you know, people are wailing and crying for help. And I'm not saying they're not doing, you know, they're not doing the best that they can. I'm not, you know, but again, you could do more. Don't blame your voters. Don't, you know, what Obama said, that, I don't know if it was taken out of context, so I didn't, you know, don't do that. Don't say we need to get off the floor crying, because, sir, you said if we voted, everybody showed up, and y'all let a person who was held liable for, anyway. They're relying on support. They're saying we need to rely on our support and build ourselves up that way. It's partway arrogance. But they'll learn a lesson too. I mean, judgment is here. Even though it's the reasoning, there's always a you know, there's always a flip side to something with your intentions. It's a cost. I wonder what they're, you know. You gotta you have to do it differently. People are tired. And they're tired of y'all as well. I don't know if you've gotten the message. But I can feel that in the energy. I used to, you know, go up for y'all, but I know where my limits are. Okay. So there's your answer. I hope I was just not rambling. All right, number 9. Nick 4800. Did I put you double, Nick? Did you sneak in there twice? You did. You did. That's fine. Because it's about Kamala. Does Kamala know something big is going to happen soon? In terms of what? The tower is there. Huh. Let's see. Let's ask. Is she waiting for something big? Is she not? Oh. fumbling. Okay. Okay, well, we have the sun, abundance, enlightenment, illumination, elucidation. Three of Wands, you're waiting for something. Waiting for results, waiting for information, news. Okay. You're looking out the horizon because you know something is coming towards you. Six of Swords is a card of healing, transition, change. Okay. Clarity. Ace of Cups, new beginnings. And, well, I mean, the answer is yes. What does she know? I don't know. I'll read on that. We have the Chariot. It's a card of battle. It's a card of taking control of your life. It's a major card here. The Sun and the Sun and the Chariot. You have the Emperor. You have the Page of Pentacles. Ten of Cups. Yeah. Do you know something big is coming? I'm going to pull real quick to see what that could be. What does she know? Okay, Spirit. Can you tell me what that is? What does Kamala know? What does she know? Oh. Same two cards came out. The Page of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles fell out. She knows about to be cold. For whom? For whom? Page of Wands. Page of Wands, they bring news. So does the Knight of Swords. Three of Cups. Ten of Pentacles. Page of Wands. Two of Swords. The World. What about legacy? News? Things coming full circle. I need to get a clarifier for those Five of Pentacles. Two of Swords. This goes here. And the King of Wands. The Emperor was in the other one. I asked what does she know, right? That's what I asked. About what? About what? Let me get a clarifier for the Two of Swords and the Five of Pentacles, please. Some news from the past. That has to do with Five of Swords energy. Clarifier. Two fives, 5 of swords, 6 of cups, 8 of wands with the 5 of pentacles. I don't know. I can't figure it out. What is it about? What is it about? It's not, I'm not allowed to know. That's what I just was told. Because I can't see anything. I know it's about news. I know it's about information. About what? I have no idea. My guide said, hey, Yuki, it's not for you to know. Okay. It's something important, but I don't know. It's not for me to know specifically what it is, but it is something. Okay, I hope that answered your question. Number 10, Yvette's. Yvette G. Hi there. Thank you for answering my question in the last Q&A. I have another question for you. If Vance becomes the president once Trump has left this plane, who will be his vice president? Who will be his vice president? I don't know if I can answer that. Okay, let me see. Just heard he might choose a woman. The irony of it would not be lost on me, of him choosing a woman. I don't know who it would be, but there will be so much chaos. Okay, show me. Can you show me? It's just like, yeah, there's a process that has to be followed, but it feels unsure. People will be unsure. That's what I keep hearing. They will be unsure. The chariot jumped out. See? The moon and the 4 pentacles. I don't know. Like I said, there's going to be craziness. And there's an this moon is the major card. You have the chariot here, which kind of feels like he's going to have battling for it. People will be unsure about him. In their own, I feel like in their own base. but he's not going to want to necessarily let go of the power here. He's going to have to battle for it. Okay. It's a very much, I've read on this before in the live, it's not his destiny. It's very much, he's idealizing this idea, like he wants to, it'll be great, but really it won't for him. It will be a dream. Number 11. I hope I answered your question. Number 11, Ben Hotbeat Z2724. Will there be a time in America when the country actively seeks to face, acknowledge, and do something to combat systematic racism? Lovely question. My favorite question of the day. Will there be a time? Let's see here. My spirit guide, I asked him, Frederick Douglass, and he said yes, but it will be a long time from now. He said the face of the White House has to change for that to happen. But yes, it will happen. Generations from now. Not in our lifetime. It's like we'll get closer and we'll move closer and closer and closer to it. Yes. But there's so many things that will need and will happen in between that happening. Civil Rights Act was passed not even a century ago. Over 6 decades, almost 7. So my other guy said 3 generations. That's another 7 decades. No, not 75 to nearly 100 years. 3 generations. And that sounds, considering the history, considering what is in the fabric, considering what we still have to go through. A simple acknowledgement, a simple validation, and a stamp of this is what happened here, to teach our younger generation what happened, without the idea is to cause shame or guilt someone, when it's simply to cause, when the true reason is for it to cause understanding, compassion, and empathy in our younger generation, to look at this and say, wow, that should never happen again. And it does, in a different way. But yes, yeah, a time from now, it will. We'll get closer and closer, but we're still at the beginning. We've come a long, long way. We have. But yes, we will. But the answer is, I heard 3 generations from now. It's like almost 100 years, between 75 and 100. But when you look and you see and you say, and I look and I'm like, my grandparents they were around before the Civil Rights Act was passed. And so were my parents. They were babies. They were toddling around, toddlers. So, yeah, it's still very, very much barely towards 70 years. And the rights of black people and other people of color. So, but yes, the answer is yes. Okay. I hope that answered your question. I hope I answered all of your questions. Please like this video if it resonates, or if you just want to be nice. Please subscribe if you haven't. I will see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe. Stay well. And I'll see you Friday. Bye.